Hi, I'm Anita Horza, Europe editor at The Banker, and we're here at the IMF and World Bank's annual meetings in Marrakesh. And joining me is Carlos Fernández, Minister for the Economy and Finance in Paraguay. Welcome, Carlos.
Hi, thank you for the invitation.
Carlos, a big theme at this year's meeting is obviously the high inflation rate environment that we're in. But I know that Latin American countries, particularly Paraguay, has already started cutting interest rates. As a former central bank governor, do you think what's your view on that? Is it a bit too soon to be cutting rates?
No, I believe it's just the effect of having done earlier than other countries. I mean, Brazil, Paraguay, some other countries in the region were the first one to start hiking the interest rate, when the general view was that was only transitory effect. So we started to do it soon. The sooner the better, as we said. So right now we are able to start cutting the rates. By the way, inflation at this moment, yearly inflation, is below target. We need a little bit more of inflation at this moment, something totally different from what you see in other countries in the world.
So from Paraguay's perspective, the sort of high interest rate environment that we're seeing in other parts of the world, has that really had an impact on Paraguay's economy?
It's having an impact through different channels. I mean, one of them is the currency appreciation, the dollar appreciation vis-a-vis national currency. The other effect is, for example, the increase in financing costs for the government. I mean, every time Paraguay have to go to the capital markets, we need to issue a bond, and even though we are doing fine or great in the economic part, we still have to pay the basis, and the basis is the U.S. Treasury, and the U.S. Treasury have been going up recently. So for everyone, financial conditions due to monetary policy is more straight at this moment in time. So in one way or the other, at the end, what's happening in an advanced economy is having an effect in all emerging markets economy.
And one of the big sort of platforms that you've sort of spoken about publicly is your desire to sort of promote more investment in the domestic bond market. What are you doing to drive more investor interest?
Our idea is not putting all the eggs in the same basket. We need to start looking for different ways to finance all the financial needs of the government. In that sense, up until recent years, we were only demanding loans from multilaterals. In 2013, we started to approach the financial market externally. And right now we're trying to explore a new area, that is the domestic bond market, that so far was so constrained that only domestic banks were the ones buying our domestic bond. In the last issuance, that was in July of this year, we found that foreign investors were willing to buy domestic currency bonds in Paraguay. So from now on, we're going to try to explore that channel and trying to get a finance that is going to be in domestic currency, that is going to be much more safer than just issuing bonds in US dollars. Going forward, we are going to facilitate, and we're working closely with the central bank in order to put all the regulatory conditions to facilitate the foreign investor to come to Paraguay and buy those domestically denominated bonds in Paraguay.
So when can we expect to see the next big sort of domestic sort of bond issuance from Paraguay?
Even though I'm not going to push the central bank, I'm expecting them to start cutting even further domestic interest rates. So by the end of the year, probably we're going to go back to normal on monetary policy interest rate. That is going to be the time for us to issue in domestic currency the bonds. So at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, we're going to for sure issue the bonds in the domestic market. That for sure is going to be open also to foreign investors.
And I think you've also spoken quite publicly about diversifying Paraguay's economy.
We are, and we will continue to be not a producer of raw material or food. We are a country who is helping the world to avoid food insecurity. That's the way we put that. But we need something else. We need to start diversifying, and we're doing that through two different channels. One of them is thanks to Mercosur agreement. we were able to insert our economy into the production chain of Brazil through what is called the maquila regime. So part of the industrial production in Brazil is being done right now in Paraguay, creating a lot of jobs, getting more returns to Brazilian investors because they are the one investing in the maquila sector in Paraguay, and basically substituting part of the Chinese of import from China that Brazil is doing every year. That is more than $100,000 million per year. And the second way how we are going to diversify the economy is through helping to protect the environment. Just to let you know, 100% of the electricity in Paraguay is being produced by means of clean and renewable energy. So we are clean on that. We are probably much far than any other country in the world regarding the production of electricity. But that is not going to be enough. For example, we need to put some more investment in two things. One of them is biofuel. So we are trying to improve the advantage that the country provides for those investors going into this field. This week, the Ministry of Industry and Trade just passed a regulation saying that the mix is going to go up to 5% of the regular fuel, fossil fuel. So 5% is going to be now produced by regulation. Is going to be 5% is going to be necessarily by biofuel. We have abundant energy, we have abundant water, and the two are quite important to produce what is called the fuel for the future, that is green hydrogen. So we are producing more and more green hydrogen. We have many projects starting to produce right now in Paraguay, but not only for using for fuel as a fossil fuel substitute. We are using that to produce something that is very demanded in the whole region, that is green fertilizer. So in the future, we're expecting to see a lot of investment coming to that field, and that is going to be important to diversify the economy.
I wonder what you'd like to see multilateral development banks doing more to help countries like yours transition to net zero.
I don't see the multilaterals working government or multilateral to government. I want to see multilaterals working with the private sector because those investments are from the private sector. So if we want to see a greener economy, we need to work with the private sector. In that sense, the private sector arm of those multilaterals are going to be crucial in order to promote those investments that will make our world much better in an environmental sense.
Minister, thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you.